tonight. We've been having a wonderful time, as always. We've been talking about the realities of experiencing God, is knowing God is at work through obedience and experience. When that becomes a reality to you, you have just now moved yourself into a different posture and position. When you know that can't nobody tell you about what the Lord will do because you've seen the evidence of it and it's been because of your obedience, then there's your shout. You see, because he shows himself differently to us as we mature. We know God in a different way when certain situations come, certain circumstances come. I was dealing with this on last year. I learned God in a new way last year, but today I'm dealing with something else. And so I know him differently now in a different way. But guess what? He's the same God. But I know him now. I've got a different experience with him now because watch this, I've continued to move toward him and he's continued to hold his arms open and I've continued to draw nigh and he's drawing nigh and I am learning him, knowing him in a different way. And on top of that, he invites me to work where he's working in my life. He gives me an invitation for me to come join him where he is working in our lives. And we've been talking from Exodus, the 3rd chapter, and we've just been talking about how God gave Moses the invitation to work with him. And we last left off talking about God's invitation gives us, watch this, and always will lead us to a crisis of belief that requires, watch this, faith and action. It's one thing to tell folk that you know it, is a whole nother thing to act on it. It's one thing to be in the prayer posture, but it's a whole nother thing to get up off of your knees and walk out the door with your shoulders squared and your head up, knowing that the Lord has answered your prayer. That's a different posture. So when we look at this, we look at how Moses expressed his crisis of belief in Exodus, the 3rd chapter, 11th verse. He says, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and that I should bring the Israelites out? God had to bring Moses to, watch this now. He knew God, but now he is learning God, and God is inviting him now to work in a different place, to work closer now. And Moses now finds himself at a crisis of belief. You know, I've seen the Lord do some stuff. He's done some stuff. Well, wait a minute, Lord, you talking about me? This is a whole different thing here now that you're asking me to do. So now I have an experience with you in a different way. Moses offered God numerous objections. He questioned whether God could accomplish such an enormous task through him. He questioned whether the Israelites would believe that he appeared to him. He questioned whether he was capable of speaking eloquently enough to convince Pharaoh to let my people go. And so he had to come. God brought him to a crisis of belief that says, watch this, you can no longer rely on yourself. You've got to trust me. You've got to believe me. Matter of fact, let me throw it to you this way. You got to bet on me with everything you love. You've got to put all your markers on the table and you've got to push them all forward and you've got to bet on me. Why? Because this is far beyond you now. You're now in a place where you have nothing to rely on. You've come to that place of a crisis of belief. We're talking about the realities of knowing that God is working. Watch this, is at work through obedience and experience. And tonight, we're going to keep moving in that because the next reality I want to talk about tonight is this. You must make major adjustments in your life to join, watch this, God in what he is doing. Exodus, the 3rd chapter, verse number 11, Exodus 3rd chapter, verse number 11. And Moses said unto God, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And verse 12 said, and he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God upon this mountain. Wait a minute. The Lord told Moses, I know you in a position now where you've not been here before, but I'm giving you my word. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you some evidence. Because of your obedience, I'm going to give you some evidence. And the evidence is when you come out of there, your people, my people, are going to come with you. You see, but watch this. This is going to require you adjusting some things about you. This is going to require you now to get out of the negative mind space, to get out of the place that you're doubting yourself in what it is that God is, watch this, already doing with you and through you. Let me watch this, y'all. Many of us miss out on experiencing God, hear me tonight, because we do not want to make adjustments for God, but we don't mind making adjustments for people, places, and things. You'll change your schedule for stuff. You'll circumvent the system for stuff. But when God has called you, equipped you, assigned you, watch this, and given you to go, we tend to back up and backpedal and begin to make excuses. But we tend not to make excuses for those people, places, and things. Watch this, that gives us now to even step out of our assignment, move out of the way, go out of the way in life. But when God has given us to make an adjustment, that is a time in most believers' life where it's inconvenient. It's a time where Lord, you know, can I get this behind me first? Can I complete this? Can I do this first? But then when it comes to you making that daily adjustment for something that has, watch this, no value to help you move forward, those are the things sometimes, most times, we find ourselves adjusting in and on rather than adjusting for the Lord. You see, hear me tonight, to get from where you are to where God requires you, watch this, significant adjustments will have to be made. You will have to make adjustments, because I don't know about you, but in order for me to work where God is, to join where God is working, that means I've got to move from where I am and work where He is working in my life. So that means I've got to move where He is. He is not, watch this, going to change, watch this, His will for my life to accommodate me. No, no, I've got to make some changes. I've got to make some adjustments, because if this is where He is working, then this is where I want to be working. Matter of fact, this is where I want to be present. This is where I want to be in position, because this is where He is working. These adjustments may relate, hear me tonight, to your thinking. See, it's not just posture, position. Sometimes it's a mind thing. It may relate to your circumstances. It may relate to your relationships, your commitments, your action, your beliefs, your rationale, the struggles, the reluctance of what God is actually asking you. Usually comes in this way. Is every adjustment God asks of me gives me to make a significant change? Because sometimes we get to that place and it seems like it's a lot. I'm still, I'm settled in where I am. I'm settled in this place. I'm comfortable where I am. And the Lord is saying, okay, that's fine. But this is not where you need to stop now, because where I am working is no longer there. But the problem is I'm comfortable staying where God is not. I'm comfortable staying with where God is not. Well, the problem with that is that if you're there and God is working here, then that means you are in the wrong position. It's almost like being able to stand in your fence and the pit bull is on the outside of the fence. In your right mind, you're in the right position because you've got some protection. You're in a position where you're protected. But when you open the gate, move out of position, now you've just opened yourself up to the dangers of life. You see, is every adjustment going to come with a significant change? Here's the response that I'll give to that. To move from where you are, to move from your way of thinking, your way of acting, watch me tonight, requires you to make adjustments. See, you can't stay where you are and go with God at the same time. I know you wish you could, but you can't. It would be nice for me to have the best of both worlds. Those worlds are not so good. You've got to put it in perspective, because for me not to make the adjustment for what God is asking me for the will of my life requires me to fundamentally know that I need to make an adjustment or adjustments as a believer. Why? Because when I make adjustments to the plan of God, now I've just gotten in the plan of God. So when I can get in the plan of God, I can be blessed, I can thrive, I can move, I can do the things now that's been called of me because I'm in the plan of God. And when I'm in the plan of God, is every day going to be a piece of day? No. Is hell going to still come? Yes. But when you are in the plan of God, you're protected. He's with you. Watch this. He's not abandoning you. Matter of fact, you're working where he's working. It's kind of like how you take your children and your grandchildren and you walk them along the way, but you hold them by the hand. They're going where you're going. They are in agreement with where they're going. So for us to make adjustments has to be a fundamental thing. I have to know. I have to be able to receive. I have to be able to embrace that this next season for me, God is requiring me to do some things. It's going to require not God to make an adjustment, but for me to make an adjustment. Why? Because he knows, watch this, what the end's going to be. You can't make that decision. You don't know. You can make the decision based on where you are. But he's made the decision on base where you've not gone yet. And he already knows. So for you to understand that, to make adjustments, it's going to be required. Moses had to make major changes in his life to join God in what he was doing. Moses couldn't stay, watch this, y'all, in the desert and stand before Pharaoh at the same time. Couldn't do it. He had to make a decision to be obedient, even with all the excuses, everything he told God he didn't have, what he wasn't equipped with. You can stand here in the desert all day long, but in order for you, watch this, to work where I'm working, you've got to go back to Egypt. You've got to go and knock on the door of Pharaoh. I know you don't think you got what it takes, but now is the time for you to make the necessary adjustment to know that if you wasn't equipped, I wouldn't be sending you. If I had not equipped you already, I wouldn't be sending you. If you were not prepared already. See, the adjustment is not for you to get another skill set. You're already equipped with the skill set. The adjustment is to bring your mind, your heart in alignment with the will of God. That's the adjustment. Moses didn't have to go to the gym. He didn't have to go work out. He had to be obedient to the will of God. So the adjustment, watch this, is the adjustment that we have to make. But we have to make the adjustment with this in mind. I am equipped already with what God has called me and assigned me to do. So the adjustment is not, watch this, I need something different in this. No, you already have it. He's already blessed you with it. Since before you was born in your mother, formed in your mother's womb, you had it. You got it. It hadn't changed. So now you've got to take the heart and the mindset and come in agreement with yourself to get yourself in the will of God. Because you already are equipped. So just need you to, watch this, to adjust the heart and the mind and go. That's what I need. God said to Moses in Exodus 4, write it down, chapter 4, Exodus 4, 19 through 22. Moses made the required adjustments to orient his life to God. You see, you will have to make some adjustments. If you don't make some adjustments or make the necessary adjustments, you will find yourself out of the will of God, out of the order of God. So how can you experience the will of God and God when you're out of his will? We're talking about experiencing, or the reality of experiencing God, watch this, through obedience and experience. See, when I'm obedient, and I've watched this, and sometimes, as much as I don't want to, I don't see it, it just requires me to be obedient. That's it. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to do any of that. I just need to be obedient to, watch this, to what I know God is saying to me and for me. Is it a struggle? Yes. Because one of the greatest struggles we have is time. The enemy vies for your time. Life vies for your time. Everybody's competing for watch this, a 24-hour period. But you've got to ask yourself, how much of that am I willing to give to all of those things, and how much am I willing to give to God? Facebook family and friends, thank you for joining live with us. Our prayer is that you'll meet the same place, same time next week, right here in the sanctuary, as we're talking about God is the reality of knowing God is at work around you, the experience of knowing that you, watch this, will be able to be in the will of God through obedience and be able to experience that. Come join us next week, same time, same place.